Our DMV is turning into a thing of the past. Some changes may be on the way as Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Janulius announces several upgrades are coming to the way we renew, replace licenses without the need of the facilities.
The changes will now expand the use of online services and increased appointment accessibility, like text notifications for appointments. The do it online, skip the line option will have motorists renew their licenses, plates, and changing your address with a click of a button. Giannulias says the approach will save Illinoisans time while avoiding the long appointment scheduling process.
I hope that the physical DMV becomes a relic for people requiring most of their services from the Secretary of State's office. With these changes, we are moving in that direction. You should only need to visit a DMV every 12 years.